Hi everyone, today I am here to bring you a no equipment Pilates inspired core blast. Today for this workout all you need is a little bit of space and maybe a mat. When you're ready, let's get started. Alright guys, so today we are going to start down on our mat. So come down to the center of your mat on your back. Bring your heels in nice and close to your glutes and your arms down by your sides. We are just going to start with a little bridging warm up. So collarbones are wide, gaze is up towards the ceiling. Take a breath, inhale through the nose and exhale slowly. Tuck the tailbone under and curl the spine up off of the mat. Trying to find a straight line from the shoulders through the hips, through the knees, and then slowly roll the spine back down again. Nice. We'll do that 2 or 3 more times, inhaling at the bottom, exhaling, peeling the spine back up, trying to keep those thigh bones parallel to one another. And then once you reach the top, descending 1 vertebra at a time back down to the mat. Release the tailbone at the bottom. Let's do 2 more, please. Inhale here. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, roll that spine back up. Good, really press through all 4 corners of the feet. Try to really squeeze the glutes and activate them for a moment before you roll the spine back down again. Inhale at the bottom, let's do that 1 more time. Tuck the tailbone, roll. Find that long line, inhale for a breath, squeeze the glutes, exhale, roll that spine back down. So tailbone gets heavy, you find a neutral pelvis where your hip bones are pointing straight up to the ceiling, and then bring those hands back behind your head. From here, exhale, curl forward, inhale, lower down. Exhale, curl forward, inhale, lower down. I'm supporting my head with my hands. I'm definitely not pulling on my neck, and the elbows are quite wide. Nice, let's do 8 more. Beautiful, last 4. Last 2. Last 1. Now I want you to stay curled forward and then take your gaze up towards the ceiling, widen the elbows just a slight bit more, and pulse your head, neck, and chest up towards the sky. Little exhales as you lift. Let's do 8, 7, 6. The last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the head down, lower the arms down for a moment. Tuck your tailbone under, roll the hips up into a bridge, and roll the hips back down. Tailbone gets nice and heavy again, hands come back behind the head. We're gonna repeat those 2. So exhale, curl forward nice and slow. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, curl forward nice and slow. Inhale, lower down. We'll do 6 more here. Last 4. And 3. On this last one, you stay lifted. You take the chin up towards the ceiling and widen the elbows, and then pulse for 16, 15, 14. Good, last 8. Try to stay just as lifted as you were on that first rep. Last 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Head down, arms down. A bridge to transition, tuck the tailbone under, roll the hips up. Giving that back a break and roll the hips back down again. Now do me a favor and bring your right knee into tabletop and your left knee into tabletop. Your hip bones are still pointing straight up. You're softening the front of your ribs down. You should feel the back of your ribs attached to the mat. From here we tap 1 foot forward and then switch, and switch, and switch. Nice and slow and controlled. Good, let's do 8, 7, 6, the last 4. Now we're just gonna change the pattern of this movement a little bit. So we go quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. For 6, and 5, and 4. Still softening the front of the ribs down, and 3. Last time. Nice. Rest the feet down. Take that transitional bridge up and down. We're going to repeat those again. This time I want you to see if you can reach your toes a little bit further towards the other side of the mat. Nice and slow. Right and left and right and left. For 8, 7, 6, last 2. Now let's change our pattern. Quick, quick, slow, still with that longer reach across the mat if possible. For 6 and 5. Nice, last 2 sets. Last time. And rest. Bridge and lower. Widen your feet for me just a little bit. Lift your heels so your toes are pointed. Reestablish that connection from the rib to the hip and bring your knees into tabletop. We're going to start doing a little bit of a reverse curl. So you're going to tuck the tailbone under and see if you can float your hips up off the floor and then control the knees back forward. Again, exhale to curl the lower half of the body up and lower. Nice. So you're rounding through that low back. Good. Let's just do a few more here. Exhale to roll. And last one. Now we're going to add on a little bit. So you lift, you lower, you reach your toes forward a bit and up. You lift, you lower, reach your toes forward a bit and up. You can make this movement feel a little more continuous. And if you're feeling good about it, you can reach your toes all the way to the floor in front of you, just making sure that low back is pressed down. Let's do 8 and 7. Good, last 4. Last 2. And 1. Rest your feet and bridge. We'll repeat those one more time. So the smaller tuck to start, no reaching the toes forward. Just tuck the tailbone under, lift the hips with control, and lower. We'll do 7 more there. Last 3. And 1 more. Now adding that toe tap forward or toe reach forward. And continue on for 8. And 7. Last 4. Last 2. And 1 more time. Nice job. Feet find the floor. Tuck and roll. And tuck and roll. Nice. Bring your feet back closer to one another again and bring one knee into tabletop. Hands behind the head. We are going to just repeat these 2 exercises, once on the right side and once on the left. So exhale, curl over to the lifted knee. Inhale, come back down through center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, lower. Find that connection between the lifting rib and the opposite hip. Shorten that little imaginary line. Squeeze it tight. Good. Let's do 4 more here. Exhale, 3. Last time. Stay in rotation. Option to lift the other leg off the floor. Now we're going to do a little twist for 16, 15, otherwise foot can be down. Last 8. Last 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Come down through the center. Roll those hips up. Roll those hips back down. Opposite knee comes up. Hands back behind the head, slow rotations. Try to drop that shin parallel to the floor. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Last 4. And 1. Now we stay here and we just do that tiny little baby twist with the option to extend the other leg across the room. 16, 15. Nice, last 8. Last 4. And 2 and 1. Very nice. One last bridge here. And roll the spine down. Now reach behind your thighs with your hands and slowly and gently roll yourself up to seated. We're going to come over onto our side for some side planks. So forearm down on the mat, elbow underneath the shoulder. Both knees are bent to start. Your top hand can be down on the floor for added support or on the hip. From here, we're going to lift the hips up and forward, down and tap. Up and forward, down and tap. When I tap, I am barely touching. It's just a descent of the hips, but still there's full engagement through those obliques. Now, if you feel good here and you'd like to add on, that top leg is going to hold an extension. Maybe the top arm reaches towards the ceiling. Let's do 8, 7, good, 6, last 4, last 2. You might feel your outer hip working as well, that's okay. Keep the hips high, little pulses up here. 16, obliques 15, 14, really lift. Last 8. Last 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Sit down, sit up, take a brief side bend. We're going to repeat those one more time with a little bit of variation. So come on down to the forearm. Bring your knees back in line, a little bit forward of the hips, top hand on the hip or on the floor. Option to extend that top leg long. Let's go back for those lifts. Nice. We're going to do 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, if your knees are both down, you're going to shoot the leg and return. Shoot the leg and return. If the leg is already extended, you're going to pull the knee to the elbow and stretch. Knee to the elbow and stretch. We've got 16, 15. That's it. Last 8. Four more. My bottom hip too, right? 3 and 2 and 1. Hips down, sit up. Nice. Take that brief stretch up and over. Good. All right, swing those feet around the other side. Let's repeat again. Coming down onto the forearm, elbow under shoulder, shoulder away from the ear, knees slightly forward of the hips. We come up and down, and up and down. Option to extend that top leg. Let's do 8, 7. Nice. Last 4. 3, 2, and 1. Hold the hips up, little pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. One more set of 8, 7. Can't shortchange us on this side. Last 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Lower the hips, take that stretch. Nice. And then we will repeat that with that variation on the second exercise. So forearm down, find that starting position, float the hips, lower the hips for 8, 7. Try to do the same variation you did on the other side. Last 4, 3, 2, and hold the hips up. Now remember, if you had both knees down, you're shooting the leg and bending, or pull, pull. We've got 12 more. 12, 11, 8, 7, last 4, last 2, and 1. Hips down and stretch. Nice. We have one more set of exercises to do. We are going to do some planks. If you know that you struggle with your planks, you can consider lifting your forearms up onto something a little bit higher, such as a couch, something fairly sturdy though, or you can be down on the floor with me. Elevating the forearms just decreases the angle or increases the angle from your torso to your feet. So a little less impact on the core. If you're coming down with me, elbows are under the shoulders, knees are behind the hips with the toes tucked under, and we're gonna float one knee up at a time. Lift, tap, lift, tap. If you're feeling good there and instead you wanna do a little knee bend, starting with the hips elevated, that's option number 2. Keep on going here. Trying to keep the hips nice and stable. Nice. Good for 8, 7, 6. Your shoulders are directly over those elbows for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now maybe one knee is down and you're tapping the other leg out and in. Otherwise the knee is up and you're tapping the same leg out and in. You can hover, you can tap. Keep those hips stable and parallel to the floor. For 8, 7, 6, 3, 2, and 1. Good, knees down. Sit the hips back into child's pose briefly before we repeat that on the other side. Nice, elbows back under shoulders. Knees back behind the hips. We'll go back to that knee lift or knee tap. Good. For 8, 7, 6. Last 2 and 1. Option for the other knee to be down. We tap side and side or hover. Good. 8, 7, 6. Last 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Come center. Sit the hips back and down. Good. All right, one more time back to the forearms here. Elbows under shoulders, knees down or knees lifted. Knees behind the hips. We rock slowly right and tap. Left and tap. Sliding right through the hardest part of the effort. Nice. 8, 7. Last exercise coming after this. We are just going to change that pattern again for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. It's quick, quick, slow. 1, 2, slow. 1, 2, slow. So those quicker ones, maybe a smaller range of motion. That's okay. 8, knees down or lifted. 7. Good, 4 more. 3, bonus plank hold in 2, and 1. Hold that plank, forearms or hands, knees or toes. That's it. 30 seconds here. We're 10 seconds in already. Tailbone under slightly, protect that low back. Ground through the fingertips, ground through the palms of the hands. 10 seconds left. Feeling that full body working. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees down, palms up, hips back. Shift the hips a little right and left. Nice. And then come up to hands and knees. Tailbone under. And then arch the back. Tailbone under. And then arch the back. Let's do 2 more like that. 1 more time. Nice. Knees a little bit wider. Reach one arm up to the ceiling and then reach underneath you for a nice twist. Relaxing that spine. And other side. And big twist. Nice. And come to center. Find a comfortable seat at the center of your mat. Take a big inhale up. And exhale down. And 1 more time, guys. Inhale up and exhale down. Thank you so much for joining me for that core workout. As always, please subscribe and share. I truly do appreciate you joining me for these workouts. I have been nominated in my town for Best of Pilates. So if you have a moment, click that link below and give me a vote. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much for your support. Bye.